you hating, you a fan, bro. Bust slow, the honeys, I'm in the Lambo. Yeah, baby mama, she a fan, though.
What up, chat? It's your boy, Slicktor Victor. We are back with another episode. So now, look, less than 24 hours ago, Larry Hoover was pardoned by Donald Trump. But now the feds, it looks like the feds have come in and said, no. We're not letting him go that easy. Some paperwork has just been released. It says he's a snitch from back in 1950s. Now, we're going to listen to WACK 100, get to this content. Like, share, subscribe. Shout out to WACK 100, whole 100 side of the trenches and Clubhouse TV. Let's go.
We're the media team. We got content. TV's in the go. We got TV in the go. WACK.
You looking for that fire Clubhouse content? Well, you need to subscribe to the home. Hey, yo, Clubhouse TV. Let's get to the content.
That's a good one.
In the block.
You got that, whatever that is they dropped saying Larry Hoover told in 1968?
Yes, I do.
Can you read that real quick?
Yes. Okay, so this is what they dropped. It says Parker High School, located at 6800 Stewart Avenue, was the scene of a youth gang battle on September 4th, 1968. A leader of the Supreme Gangsters, 18-year-old Larry Hoover of 6853 Green Street, informed the police that he was standing in the school hall just outside of the principal's office when two of the East Side disciples appeared. These boys, James Highsmith, age 18 years, of 6534 Emerald Avenue, and Leonard Longstreet, age 20 years, of 633 West 62nd Street, were not students at Parker High School. Hoover related that the two walked past me in the hall, and Highsmith smiled. Then Longstreet said, "Burn them," and Highsmith pulled a gun and started shooting. I got hit. Bullets also struck two bystanders. Mildred Sievels, age 15 years, of 7214 Peoria Street, and Lewis Jackson, age 15 years, of 6815 May Street. All three Parker High School students were shot in the leg and were rushed to St. Bernard's Hospital for treatment. Only minutes after the shooting, police officers arrested Highsmith and Leonard Longstreet. At the time,
now, Chad, let me just stop it right there. Now, Larry Hoover is 74 years old. The man is 74 years old, right? This happened when he was 18 years old. Do y'all really consider this snitching, some high school snitching business? Just let me know down in the comment section below. Back to the content.
Time of Parker High School battle, Longstreet and Highsmith were at liberty on bond awaiting trial on two separate shootings that occurred earlier in the summer. At the same time, the police also arrested 17-year-old Gregory Williams of 6538 Morgan Street, who was carrying a pistol in the Parker High School hall. Williams was a member of the Supreme Gangsters. A Cook County grand jury subsequently returned an indictment number 68-3443, which charged James Highsmith and Leonard Longstreet with aggravated battery on Larry Hoover. Preliminary hearings on the case were held in the courtroom of Judge David Serta on September 17, 1968. Attending the hearings was Vicky Berry, age 16 years.
I'm going to cut it right there real quick, chat. This was 1968. That's what we're talking about. 1968. A lot of y'all parents probably wasn't even born then. Shit, my mom was only, 6 years old then. You know what I mean? 68. Shit, my dad was 16. This is crazy. Back to this content, man.
Years of 6629 South Morgan Street. Vicky Berry was a member of the Supreme Gangsters, of which Larry, and then it cuts off right there.
So this supposed to be paperwork and documents, right? That's what this supposed to be, a court report, a police report? Ebony, it's supposed to be a police report?
I just got this article. I'm not sure exactly if it's a police report, but it looks like somebody's reporting on the actual incident.
Well, here's the thing, right? In order to get police reports, court paperwork from 1968, it's probably available but you would have to go down there in person and request it. And
You literally think about that, chat. Like that 1968, there was no computers around, right? So there's no way to log this information. So that information has been logged in, right? Over the years, I'm sure you can find it, but you have to dig deep. And who could do that the quickest in 24 hours? Because if one of us on the street tried to go get that information, it's going to take us quite a while to get it. Who else can get it? The federal government. Back to the content.
and that shit is probably held in some type of library somewhere, right? Now,
Right. I would think so. They did give a the actual what is it? They gave that number out, which was the indictment. It says the Cook County Grand Jury subsequently returned an indictment number 68-443, which charged James Highsmith and Leonard Longstreet with aggravated battery on Larry Hoover. So
now these individuals, we talk about 1968, we talking about the height of all these organizations being established. We talking Black Panther areas. We talking about the height of a lot of things, right? So when we dealing with this, right, Larry Hoover go to jail, I believe, in 75. So we talking about 7 years. This just me. Ain't no way from 68 to 75, his growth years, to becoming who he is to his organization, his clique, his crew, whatever they want to call it back then. We know Mr. Hoover don't represent that today. But I find it hard to believe it was a shooting and some dudes was incarcerated and they still put this man in position to be who he is. He goes to prison.
and he went in 73. So shoot, that was
So
even 2
73.
years.
So we like 68. That's 5 years. He goes to prison. When he gets to prison, he's who he is. You hear nothing of it. In prison, his growth in prison, and back then it was some of the most deadliest, dangerous times, I'm sure. You hear nothing of it then. 10 years, 20 years, he catch bad time, life sentences. He goes to the feds, you hear nothing of it then.
Now, I know a lot of y'all like to hate on WACK and this and that, but listen to what WACK is saying here. This man done went through 53 years of penitentiary time, and this has not once ever come up. But now that he's up, he just got a pardon out of the feds, and he may potentially get out of the state case, right? Now this type of paperwork comes up. Who else would do this? The people that are mad that he got pardoned, and that's the FBI.
30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 52, 53 years. You hear nothing of it until 24 hours after a pardon. So my question is, who went down or had knowledge of the court building and requested these documents? We need to know where that person is.
Right.
Because without that person, I'm going to call it cap. I'm going to call it, it took 53 years, no, 58 years, the 5 years he was on the street, the 53 he been confined, for this to pop up. Okay. A lot of these people might not be alive, but shit, where they family members at? Where's the chatter of this at?
Yeah, somebody would have been talking about this, right? We've been finding out about cold cases from back in the day, all types of stuff. So this would have been spoken about at this point, is what WACK is trying to say. We're in 2025. You have access to all information. YouTube is here. Someone's family would have came out, especially after the pardon, and say, "Oh, Larry Hoover shot and told on my brother." You know, so some of this information would have gotten out. You know, Black people can't shut up.
Where I have heard nothing about it. 24 hours after Larry Hoover been pardoned by Trump on the Fed side, All of a sudden, some alleged snitch paperwork pops up from 1968. I ain't buying it. I'm going to tell you what this is. This is a plot and ploy to try to get Larry Hoover assassinated before they release him from them state facilities. They're trying to plant a seed right now with them youngsters, plant a seed right now in that state facility for somebody who may want to get a rep, might want to get a rep, and have an excuse of doing it. Send Mr. Hoover in his 70s to this state facility where he can finally go outside and get some fresh air and use one of these people, these youngsters, to assassinate him because they couldn't do it.
Yep, and that's, you know what? This what's crazy is that this kind of similarly reminds me to the Whitey Bulger case. Now, a little bit different. Whitey Bulger actually was an informant, and he went on the run. Right? They found him in 2011 in Santa Monica, California, and he was been wanted since like '99. Right? Crazy. He gets locked up. He's in jail for a couple of years. They move him to another facility, and within, I think it was like 24 hours, maybe 48 hours, he's toast. They done ripped his tongue out, beat him to half to death, and it was a guy trying to make a name for himself, a guy who already had life, he had nothing else to lose, and that's what it looks like they're trying to do here with Larry Hoover, right? Put all the information out to all of the GDs, the BDs in Chicago, and let them go ahead and go get him, and that's what it looks like. Somebody's going to crash out.
You got to ask yourself, why now? They said he's going to be transferred in the next 2-3 weeks, right?
Yep, they transferred him already. He at Dixon right now.
Okay, so now he's wide open. He ain't ADX, so you can't get to him, right?
Facts.
Okay, so now he's wide open. Hey, listen, all you youngsters out there in that Illinois state, don't fall victim to it. They trying to get you to do that dirty work. This man has been too high profile. The government, the FBI, would have released this shit. Now, I don't know who behind it, but it must be somebody behind it, because you're not going to get me to believe the 5 years he was out from 68 to 73, nobody knew about this. From 73 to, I think, 97 is when he caught his Fed shit. So we got 83, 93, 24 years in the state. Nobody knows about this. He's rising to his height. These dudes he the toll on, Larry Hoover went to jail and he was 24 years old on this situation. Them dudes would have spoke on this. That nigga told on us. It would have been out there somewhere, somehow, some way.
Somebody's family, somebody's girlfriend, somebody's auntie, somebody's sister, brother, somebody's niece, nephew, somebody would have knew who was around back in them days. With all of the praise that Larry Hoover's been getting over all of the years, this information would have been came out.
We know a lot of them might be dead now, but what happened 24, 34, 44, 54, 60? What happened in the last 50 years from his youth to him being an elderly man? 24 hours after a pardon, where they got to move him from a federal facility to a state facility, all of a sudden, some snitch paperwork comes out from 1968, what could only be obtainable from the archives if you go to the court building to record.
And can I just say something, Chad? To be fair, this man is 74. If something that you did in 68, like, he's 74. The man has already denounced himself from the gang. He's no longer a gang member. He's denounced himself within the last couple of years. Is it really snitching? He's a civilian now. He's been locked up so long. He been locked up for a whole three times the time he was when he was locked up. It's crazy, man. Enough with the snitching shit, man. Come on.
And you would probably have to be an attorney or
it's got to be an age limit now to be calling somebody a rat. Come on, bro. 74. Come on now.
Those individuals that were part of the case to get this paperwork, all of a sudden is up and is out. Nah. And I'm quick to jump on this. And all y'all know, hey, listen, I've been catching the flack for being, I don't know what they say. I just been speaking my truth. But in this situation right here, I believe this is a plot and a ploy to poison some of them people's minds in the state facilities who may be a part of and or against whatever organization Larry Hoover stood for and represented originally, which we know he has denounced it all. So you may have some people got some ill feelings about that who don't understand the political stance on why he had to do that. I don't see that as a weakness. I see that as a strategic move. But let's look at the facts. Somebody need to first show us the receipt of going to order this shit from the archives of that Illinois court. It gotta be a body that says we're the one that went and requested it. You ain't just pulling this off the internet. No. Even if you go look up on Google, are court documents from 1968 available out of Illinois court? Yes, records from 1968 would likely be available for Illinois court cases, but through access might be limited and may require in-person visit. 24 hours after his pardon, 24 hours after his pardon, Larry Hoover's a snitch. This coming from me, WACK 100. Anybody running this narrative against Larry Hoover, you should be considered the opposition. Your ass is going against the grain, and you should be punished to the maximum extent by whatever group, city, state, or organization that shall dictate that. Now, this is a time for the people to stand up. If this was your father, your grandfather.
You heard that, WACK just spoke. Look, man, don't fall for the trick bag here. All y'all youngins that's in the can, listen to this message. Leave Larry Hoover alone. The FBI is behind this. If he was a rat, as big of a name as he is, it would have already been out. Look at it. Big Meech, they've been saying he's a rat for years before he came home. Years people have been saying that, right? And now when he come home, you see what it is, right? But Larry Hoover, he's been in there for too long, man. I don't believe it.
Grandfather, your elder, who done did 53 years clean, state and fed time, walked off 20 plus in the most notorious prison, ADX. This is where El Chapo at, the Unabomber, the Boston Marathon bomber, the worst of the worst. Ain't broke, ain't cracked, continued to deliver messages to the people to try to right his wrong. We get a renegade president in there that didn't mind doing what's right for our side of the track, and in 24 hours, alleged snitch paperwork from 1968 all of a sudden appears on social media. Nah. This is when we supposed to unite. This is when we supposed to stand up and beat our chest and say we ain't hearing it. Everybody in them state facilities, wherever Larry Hoover may be, this shouldn't be a discussion. This shouldn't be a conversation. This shouldn't be a chatter. This shouldn't be no questions asked. When y'all see this man, this shit shouldn't even be acknowledged. I ain't never seen this type of foolery or fuckery in my life. This is an attempt on that man's life, and I urge everybody to petition, because now this is the real reason on why they need to let that man go, because they are trying to put this man's life in jeopardy by releasing these documents. Somebody need to trace back and see who released this document, right? I'm pretty sure you will find that it's a forged document. I'm pretty sure that you will find that it's not authentic. I'm pretty sure you will find that it's going to lead back either to a troll, a op, or the motherfucking government. Either way, we need to disregard this shit like it never happened. On the 100 side floor, I would appreciate it if this is never brought up again. We don't talk about it. We don't discuss it. Anybody that represents me, that stands with me, that moves with my movement, I would ask that you take this recording, you spread this recording. Other than that, we ain't showing no support or no representation for slandering this man.
So, chat, while we're in the middle of this, I will thank you all for subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting. Please keep tuning in. It helps out for the channel. Also, I left my Instagram down below. If you guys want to chat some more, want to get into some music with me, let me know. And also, my Cash App is there, so I can continue to bring you guys this content. Back to the content. Appreciate y'all.
His name with these false allegations.
Hey, WACK, do you think somebody really gonna try something though? Do you feel like somebody in that state pen gonna try something about this shit though?
Bro,
let me know what y'all think about that question below. Do y'all think that somebody's gonna attempt an assassination on Larry Hoover's life? I believe so, because I think that a lot of these youngins are really stupid and dumb, and I think that a lot of the guys in Chicago, you know, the GDs, the BDs, they're trying to make a name for themselves. They know that they got life in prison of 30, 40, 50 years. They're trying to make a life for themselves, a name for themselves. If they could take out the guy who started it all, you know what I mean? What does that look like? To them, it feels like they're on top and they got some power. To me, I feel like they're a coward.
Bro, I think that's why they released it. You know, we got fools, we got idiots, we got imbeciles. We got people looking for a rep. And believe it or not, although some people may love Larry Hoover, there's the other side of his movement that dislikes Larry Hoover. You know, it's no different than Tookie Williams being who he was, may he rest in peace, being released to General GP, and somebody releases something like this on him, and the blood feel like, I'm going to take my shot and stabs him. He going to always have a rep. Now, those of us that have been living long enough know that that rep ain't going to be worth nothing. But, of course, everybody ain't thinking. You got dope fiends. You got dummies that'll take this shit and run with it. Those dudes that's on that yard need to make sure they put a wall in a circle around Mr. Hoover and protect him. Because you never know what dumb motherfucker may want to take the shot and use this as his reason of doing this type of shit. I mean, we talking about to obtain the paperwork from 1968, bro, it'll take a nigga damn near a year to get it. If they have it.
And if anybody know how to get this paperwork, it's WACK 100. So if WACK's telling you he wouldn't even be able to get this paperwork in 24 hours, it'll take him a year, you best believe it's fake work. Promise you that.
You know, this could be the federal prosecutors from Chicago, because you know the federal prosecutors from Chicago did not want him out.
Hell yeah, they didn't want him in that federal. Nigga, you ain't on responsibility. Transpac.
Oh, so they already released.
He already in the state.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And also, they moved them so fast, and as they moved them, probably while he's in transport, this information dropped. So as soon as he lands in that new facility he's in, it's on site. Same thing that happened with Whitey Bulger. Chat, look up that story. If y'all want me to do a video on the Whitey Bulger, I definitely will. Let me know in the comment section below.
Yeah, so now they released this shit where he's probably in an open area.
Oh.
Yeah, he already gone.
Oh, shoot.
It's crazy. They didn't even let this man bask in his glory for a day. Snitch paperwork out on Larry Hoover.
That's Illinois somewhere.
Yeah, motherfuckers just holler like this type of shit. Nah, man, that's some bullshit. You wouldn't even have access to that type of shit. Where these victims at? Where these dudes that did this time at? Any of the family members? Show us what legal entity, what attorney's office use their credentials to go down there and file to get this paperwork. Show me. I got to see that. I don't believe it. I believe it's a plot and a ploy to get one of them dummies and that's on the state yard who want to get a rep to try to do something to him.
That's cold-blooded.
It's the world we live in. Yeah, this is crazy. I ain't never seen nothing this crazy. I mean, goddamn it, you know, I know they think we fools, but we just can't play the fool.
So you saying you think when somebody put this out, so that way when they move them over there to Illinois.
Think about it.
Okay.
53 years. 5 years prior to that, he on the streets. He from 18 to 23, he on his rise in the street. Nigga, back then, them niggas would have blew your brains out, bro.
Fact, snitching is not the same as it was even when I grew up in the 90s, right? You rather somebody literally did not show up the next day. You know what I'm saying? When I went to school, a lot of the kids, Italian kids, their fathers were in their life. You know what I mean? Kids, oh, Christmas was canceled. That shit was a real thing back in the day. Not just because Tommy says on the power, it's real. People was not making it home. I don't believe this.
And they wouldn't.
Ben took him out in jail, in prison. As soon as he would have touched any yard, he would have went on. But he was in ADX Florence, where it's 23 hour lockdown. The 1 hour you do get out, you're alone, you're by yourself. ADX is in Colorado. It's the only supermax we have in the United States.
Wouldn't even have let him make the Gangster Disciples if he was really that. You know
they wouldn't allow none of that. He wouldn't have had no positioning, no nothing, bro. He went to jail at 24. So whoever he did this here with, I'm pretty sure they around the same era, same age, give or take. So you telling me nobody sounded the trumpets? Nobody sounded the alarm? He kept attention on him. He on the yard moving the way he moving for him to catch his life sentences he called to be sent to the federal penitentiary. It ain't like he in that motherfucker quiet. But I want to know who used their credentials to go down to that courtroom and pull some documents on a case they ain't got nothing to do with from 1968.
Yeah, that's my question.
That's where we at.
That's the
fuck
whole
what
thing.
it talking about. Fuck what it reads. Because what it's talking about, what it's reading, is more than likely motherfucking manufactured.
Yeah, that look like a newsletter. That don't look like no work.
That's my point. So they didn't move him to the state and they drop it. Lavish, 53 years.
And then check this out, right? Guess what page that was the first one to drop?
Who's that?
That's one of the biggest blogging pages in Chicago. Like for all the street shit. All the street niggas go to that shit. Like when a nigga die, he posts all they shit first.
And they released it to that page specifically so that it can get directly to the yard that he's on in Illinois. Whatever yard they're gonna send them to, that's why they gave it to that blogger right there.
First nigga got it when a nigga died in Chicago. That nigga been Squid 8, he been around for a while. So
and guess what?
He got it first.
And guess what? Because guess what? If he dropped it on some shit stationed in California, it probably won't reach the penitentiaries in Illinois.
Right.
All this shit is strategic bullshit. But, some of us got voices out here. Some of us got some reach. You know what I'm saying? And my voice need to be heard. My reach need to be extended. Don't buy into the bullshit. It don't make sense. In order to obtain this, bro, nigga, you would need a legal office. And I'm going to be real. You would have to be a family member or somebody directly involved for that legal office to even entertain going to file to get this. And when you file and got it, they will give you a cover page of receipt. Where is it at?
Yeah, I don't see no statement or nothing like that. It just that shit don't look official at all.
Yeah, it ain't. Yeah, where it's at. My thing is this ain't to prove he didn't do it. We know he didn't do it. My whole thing is, y'all don't fall victim and feed into the bullshit. Soon as he hit the state facility, they dropped this. And some of these people will hear about it, read about it, hear half the story, and run with it. Yo, Lavish, you know what it would do to that old man for him to be sitting in the cell, just getting there on intake, and a young nigga walk by and call him out his name?
Oh yeah, he gonna go off.
I don't believe he didn't experience no shit like that. Nah. People, Illinois, youngsters, Muslims, all groups, y'all need to stand with that man and make sure them goofies, them dummies, make sure they ain't got no action of taking a shot at that man. That man in his 70s, he on his way out. Let that man make it to his family, man. This shit's some bullshit if I ain't never heard it.
Clubhouse. So look, man, y'all heard it right there. WACK 100 said stand down in the Larry Hoover mess. The man is 74 years old. He ain't no rat. This paperwork would have been out. Now let me know down in the comment section below. Do y'all think that the streets put this out? The FBI put this out? Well, who put it out? Or the ops put it out? Who put this information out? My guess is the FBI. Right? The FBI has everything to win from this. They're going to kill two birds with one stone. He was taken out of their custody, and now they can get him up out of here for real. Right? The reason they don't want Larry Hoover released, look at the ongoing issue since he's been in prison, since he started the GDs, right? The GDs and the BDs have taken over Chicago, right? And that's who they're trying to send to take out their leader, right? So when the lion gets old, the rest of the pack takes him out. When the wolf gets old, the alpha wolf, the alpha male, they take him out, right? That's what they're trying to do here with Larry Hoover. So make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. And let me know what y'all think about this content. Shout out to WACK 100, 100 Side of the Treasures Clubhouse TV for the content. My Instagram is in the thing below. You see it ticking at the bottom, at Slicktor Victor. Holla at me if y'all want to collab on some music. And my Cash App is right there if y'all want to support the channel. Appreciate y'all, man. It's your boy Slicktor Victor, and we are out of here.
Yeah, baby mama, she a fan though. All my niggas, they strapped up, be in that band though. Hey, you a fan, bro. Bust slow, the honeys, I'm in the Lambo. Yeah, baby.